Hello, third grade. Welcome back to Wednesday's lesson. Today is the day that if you have one at your house, if you have a recorder, grab it and get it out, and we're going to use it towards the end of the lesson. If you don't have a recorder, grab a pencil or a marker, and you can finger along on your imaginary recorder as we do activities. Before we do anything else, though, let me talk about expectations for this lesson. Remember that there are video lessons on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday that you need to watch. And following each lesson is a Google form, or if you need to do it pencil and paper, that's fine too. A set of questions, maybe 3 or 4 questions for you to answer about the lesson that you just watched. After you watch the lesson, fill out those questions and submit them to me, and I will take a look at them. So remember, you have a video lesson on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Today's is the last one of the week. And tomorrow there will be a fun music activity posted. If you've completed Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday's work, you can go on and do Thursday's activity. I need to remind you of something just so you're aware of it though. Music is now graded just like all of your other classes, pass, fail. So I need for you to make an attempt to do these video lessons. And if there's a problem, reach out to me so I know how to help you in some way, shape, or form. So just remember, these lessons are graded, pass or fail, and I need for you to fill out that Google form because that's the way I know if you have participated. All right, let's get going. Okay, so before we can begin and play recorders, we have to review a little bit about the lines and spaces and the information about the music staff. The music staff is the place where the notes live. It's made up of 5 lines, and in between the lines are 4 spaces. At the beginning of the music staff is a curlicue thing. Now this is called a treble clef, and this generally means that this is where higher sounding notes are. Okay, there's also one called the alto clef, there's one called the bass clef, and the alto clef has a little bit lower sounds, and the bass clef has even lower sounds. But today we're talking only about the treble clef and the music staff. And when we do the music staff and we sing the staff has 5 song, we always remember that we go from bottom to top with naming the lines. Let me sing the staff has 5 song, and you guys echo it back when I'm all done. The staff has 5, it has 5 lines, E, G, B, D, F, E, G, B, D, F. In between each line there lies a space, F-A-C-E. They spell the word face. All right, can you guys sing it with me this time? Ready, here we go. The staff has 5, it has 5 lines, E, G, B, D, F, E, G, B, D, F. In between each line there lies a space, F-A-C-E. They spell the word face. Okay, so what I have in front of us here is a music staff, and we have just gone over singing the names of the lines and spaces. Let me put a treble clef at the beginning of my staff, and I want to review what each of the lines are. So as a review, we have at the bottom of our staff, around the first line, E. Around the next line, we have G. Around the middle line, we have B. The 4th line is D. And the top line is F. The staff has 5, it has 5 lines, E, G, B, D, F. E, G, B, D, F, always bottom to top. Now let's go in between those lines. So without touching the lines, in between them we have F, A, C, and E. In between each line there lies a space, F-A-C-E. They spell the word face. Okay, so now that we have all of that, let me erase my screen. Now that we have all of that, I'm going to draw a line, and let's work together to figure out which line it is. All right, so drew a circle there. We use our song. The staff has 5, it has 5 lines, E, G, B, D, F. And that is the B line. right? Let's try it with a different one. Let's do that. The staff has 5, it has 5 lines, E, G, B, D, F, and we discover that that line is F. Let's do it with a space. So let's do a space here. In between each line there lies a space, F-A-C-E. That one is F as well. But wait a second, Mrs. Johnson, did you just say that there are 2 F's? Yes, I did. There is an F space, and there is also an F line. There is also, just to keep your brains sharp, there is an E line, and there is an E space, just for you to remember. All right, let's have a little fun with the lines and spaces slideshow that we usually do in class and we have as a competition. All right, so let's take a look at this slideshow. We know that this note is a line because it has the line going right through the middle of it. And if it's a line, we said we have to use E, G, B, D, F from bottom to top. So we have E, G, B, D. Let's go through a couple of these, and I will say line or space, and you try to figure out what the note is, and we'll check your answer. This one's a space. Did you come up with A? This one's a space as well. Did you come up with E? This one's a line. This is also an E. All right, let's have you do some on your own, maybe about 10, and we'll see how you do. I'll give you about 5 seconds for each one. How did you do with those? I hope you did pretty well. And now for the moment you've all been waiting for. It's recorder time. All right, so remember when we play our recorders, our left hand goes on top. And we have the silly, cheesy little song. The left hand goes on top, the left hand goes on top. Hi-ho, Mrs. Johnson, the left hand goes on top. Now I'm going to use my right hand so I look the same as you. But I just want you to remember that I am using my right hand even though you are using your left hand. So we should look the same. Remember that when we play the recorder, we sit up nice and tall. We put just the tip of the recorder into our mouth. Okay? And we make sure that the fat, flat parts of our fingers are what are covering the holes. Now, before we can even make a sound on here, we have to review what we do to make a sound. So imagine you have a candle in front of you, hold it far away from you, and blow the candle out. That's going to be too much air for our recorder. Let's make that candle flicker just a little bit. So very gentle air. Pull the candle, closer to you, and let's let the air flicker the candle flame just a little bit more. Now pull it very close and blow that gentle flickering candle air. That's how much air has to go into the recorder. We can't do too much more than that because we'll get a squeaky, ugly sound. But on top of blowing our warm, flickering candle air, we also have to use our tongue and do something called tonguing. That's when you pretend like you're spitting watermelon seeds, but we have to do it gently with the flickering candle. All right, so you will be able to hear my watermelon seeds, but I hope you're doing it very softly and very gently that nobody around you can hear your watermelon seeds. So here we go. Echo after me, very softly so nobody can hear you. Ready, your turn. 3, go. Let's do it one more time. My turn first, your turn second. Soft and gentle, your turn, go. Now once we have that flickering candle and the gentle watermelon seed, we can play. So can you cover up the thumb hole on the back, first, second, and third finger, okay? So you look like this. Make sure those holes are covered. Make sure you're using the flat parts of your finger. And this note is G. Can you blow very gently and echo after me on G? Your turn. Ready, go. Let's do a rhythm echo on G. My turn first. I'll let you know when it's your turn. 3 fingers. Make sure you're using the flat parts of your finger. You have gentle candle flickering air and a gentle. Here I go. Ready, your turn, G. Let's do one new note. Let's move up to A. Thumb is on the back covering the hole. First finger, second finger. Echo after me. Your turn. Let's do a new A pattern. And finally, let's go up to B. Now, I can't remember if we did this before we left. B is thumb on the back, first finger on the front. My turn first, your turn after me. Your turn. All right, let's play B, A, down to G. So we're adding one finger on at a time. My turn first, your turn second. Your turn, B. Let's do that same pattern again. B, A, G. My turn first. Your turn, go. Can you play 4 G's after me? My turn first, your turn second. Ready, your turn. G's, use your tongue. Go up to A, do 4 A's after me. Ready, 4 A's, use your tongue. Go up to B again, echo after me. B, go. You guys just played hot cross buns. I almost forgot what it was. Okay, we are almost out of time for today's lesson, but I want to play through a brand new song with you. It's called Bonnie B. I'll put it up on the screen right now. Before we play it, real quickly, I'm going to go through the song and finger and speak the letters. You'll find out that one of the sections repeats 3 times, and only the last section is different. So take a look at Bonnie B, and finger along and say the notes with me. All right, here we go. It starts on the letter B. Here we go. B, 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 A, B. B, 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 A, B. B, 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 A, B. B, 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 A, G. Now I will attach this song as well in Google Classroom or in the slideshow, depending on how you're accessing this, so you can practice it on your own, but it should sound something like this. And that is Bonnie B. Don't forget there are questions on the Google form or pencil paper for you after this lesson. Make sure you complete those and send them to me by the end of the week. Otherwise, I have to send an email and let you guys know that you're missing work. Other than that, I hope you are doing well and I hope you enjoy tomorrow's fun assignment. I'll talk to you later. Have a great day, guys.